I'm a buyer, and I'm going to get crapped on for this, but I'm submitting essentially a piece of construction paper with crayon on it. Go, I buy your house 500,000. Who wins? Who wins that?
Right.
Bidding war,
Hey,
right?
Patrick. So Matt Laracy, right, who's the top selling agent in Chicago. He sells about $1 billion of real estate every Friday.
I know. I stitched him on TikTok.
I saw that. And he made a comment that pretty much every buyer that puts an offer in on one of his properties, that deal literally gets set on fire halfway through the deal because they're missing all kind of benchmarks and all kinds of things that they're not paying attention to because buyers don't know. I mean, let's be honest. They don't.
Look, I represent
For sure.
I represent a lot of people in these transactions, and there's very few who at the end they go, yeah, I really don't know what my buyer broker did for me. I mean, they do so much, and Larry, to go back to an earlier point you made, it to me it is a massive failing on the part of the National Association of Realtors that all of those efforts go just completely unnoticed by the general public. And, it's gone to create this idea that, the public can do math at least well enough to multiply 0.06 times the purchase price. And they go, that's too much money. What they don't, what very few people out there doing is saying, look, this is all that goes into that. These are all of the hours of the day I spend. This is the step-by-step process of what it takes for me to actually get I was going to use a bad word. I don't know if that's allowed on the Real Estate Radio Show podcast.
Let it rip.
By the way, we're not live.
We're not on the radio now. You can go right ahead.
Don't tempt me, because I will absolutely light the thing on fire. But all of that effort. My mom's a real estate broker. I know how hard she works. I know how hard my entire life she worked to make sure that we had a nice life and that I was able to, have chicken and rice every night, because that's what we had. Because she was never home because she was working all the time. Okay, a rotisserie chicken is awesome when you've got to go. Come home, chuck it on the counter, say, here you go, and head off to show another house. Okay. So, I mean, anyways, I'll step off my soapbox and let, there's 4 of us here, and I don't have to be the only one that talks.
No, I mean, that's a good point. The NAR really fails in letting people know exactly what buyer's agents do. We just don't, listen, I'm a listing agent and a buyer's agent, depending on the client I'm working with, just like John. And, sometimes we're wearing a different hat, but when we're buyer's agents, there's a ton of work that goes into that. I've had clients I've shown 170 homes to before they finally decided to stay in the transaction. And I was in therapy, literally.
You shouldn't have done that. You really shouldn't have done that.
I know, but you know what?
That sounds bloody to me.
I glom onto it. I'm not letting it go until I get it across the finish.